What's good, y'all? It's your boy Sean P. the Bluff guy. Hey, sorry, I got some little piece of hair or something caught in the throat when I during that intro. Oh man. Well, anyway, y'all, what's good with y'all? How y'all doing? Had a great stream yesterday, but today is a new day, and today we talk about Elbaf, right? Like right now, we're in Wino in the speculation, what people expect, the expectation of where the story goes from here is that we are potentially going to Elbaf of all places. I mean, it's been hype. We had it back in Little Garden when we had Zoro and Sanji competing against who could get like the bigger dinosaur or whatever to cook, right? And then we meet these giants, Dory and Brogy, who are kind of similar to Zoro and Sanji in a way, where they were very competitive. Like that compare that they were pretty much compared during that arc, right? And we also got Usopp, who developed a very close relationship with the giants of Elbaf, Dory and Brogy. Who we learned later that they pretty much refer to Elbaf, a country full of giants, right? And ever since then, it's people speculated that we were going to Elbaf. Kind of makes sense though, right? Because there's also things such as the Atom Tree that a lot of people expect to be in Elbaf, right? Also, we also have the story of Big Mom and her history in Elbaf, right? Her as a kid, she killed the village leader of Elbaf, uh, Joe Rue or something like that. I can't remember. I know one of them was like Jaru, the other one was like Joe Rue or something like that. She killed, I think, Joe Rue. I think that was the one she killed. So I mean, there's a lot of story elements that are related with or connected to Elbaf. So, the question is that where we're going? But before we get into it, before we really get into it, first let me say make sure you guys hit that like button. Also subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter and Facebook. And if you are looking for a One Piece group to be a part of, we have the Discord and we also have the Facebook group. Um, Let me check the chat out. Let me see what you guys talking about in the chat. We got my aunt with the thumbs up. Shout out to my aunt. We got Cryptic D Athena in the building with the early gang. Let me also say we are also reacting to Cryptic D Athena's Elbaf speculation, and I'm curious what she has to say on this. And yeah, I'm glad she's here so we could talk about it, right? So we could talk about it. Then we got Angel's Room in the building. Shout out to Angel's Room, man. Shout out to Angel's Room. Yeah. Anyway, so okay, about Elbaf. Let's get into it though. Let's kind of talk about Elbaf a little bit, right? I already kind of set the stage. We had the whole Dory and Brogy plot in Elbaf, right? And that's where Usopp meets them two, right? And they grow a connection, right? And one thing that could be speculated is that Usopp will get kind of a character arc in Elbaf, right? Because he met the giants. He also, we see in Dressrosa, he also one of the many prisoners that looked at Usopp as God Usopp, right? One of them who became kind of a follower of Usopp, right? Was I want to say his name is Hydrogen or Hydrogen or I can't remember how you say his name, but it's something along that line, right? He was the one that was holding Usopp up when Usopp was like all beaten and battered, right? So, Angel's Room said, "Wait, why do people even think Adam Tree is in Elbaf? I'm asking you out of curiosity, not trying to say it's a dumb idea. Uh, Let me get to that. All right, let me just finish my thought on Usopp. But that's a good question. I'm about to get to that in a little bit because there's reasons, and I'm gonna explain. So Usopp, Dressrosa, he pretty much got a giant, right? One of the giants to become a follower of him, and the Straw Hats as well, and also his whole relationship with Dorian Brogy. He wants to be a brave warrior of the sea. We kind of talked about this last night in yesterday's stream. So he wants to be a brave warrior of the sea, but in a lot of people look at Elbaf as a great arc that really develop Usopp's to get in closer to that dream, right? Because we know that Elbaf is based on Vikings and things like that, right? And he Vikings are known to be great warriors, right? So, you know, there's a little plot to be made there, right? So it makes sense. It makes sense why people think that. Now, as far as the Atom Tree, going into what Angel's Room said, as far as the Atom Tree, okay. So there's one image. I can't tell you the exact chapter or episode it's in, but we kind of get a picture of Elbaf, right? And there's this big old silhouetted thing, right? It looks huge, right? And it looked like it could be a silhouette of a tree if you've seen it, And maybe Cryptic, maybe Athena has some, maybe she expands on it more in this video. So, but yeah, so that's one thing. There was a silhouette of some huge, like some huge thing, right? That a lot of people speculate is the silhouette of the Atom Tree. Also, if we go back to Ennis Lobby, right? We know that Frankie, he stole the Straw Hats' money, right? Like they had this treasure, they had all this money, and the Frankie crew, they stole that money, and Frankie left to go get some wood from a tree. I don't know if they said the Atom Tree, if he said the Atom Tree, but one or no, I think it was wood from the Atom Tree, I want to say. And I think they did confirm it was the wood from the Atom Tree. And he went to go buy it somewhere else. And he said that wood is from a tree that lives in a war-stricken area. A war-stricken, something along this line. Again, I would have to find I would have to find the panel of how he described where the Atom Tree was, but he says something along the line as it being a war-stricken country. And a lot of people look at Elbaf, especially since it's connected with Vikings, as a war-stricken country as well. So I think that's one of the that's one thing a lot of people use as evidence that it's in Elbaf. You said in this lobby, he got those two giants to work for the Straw Hats. Oh, that invisible tree silhouette. That's a pretty interesting idea. Frankie said Atom Tree. He brought the tree from the black market, if I remember correctly, because it's so rare. Yeah, I don't think he went to Elbaf. He bought it from somebody who got the wood from the tree. I don't want to say from Elbaf, but from the tree, wherever the tree is. But he also described the tree being in a war torn country, I guess, right? So, and I think, and if you think about it, if the tree being so big, possibly, it could survive being in a country full of giants as well. So, there's that. But yeah, that's pretty much, the idea behind the Atom Tree being in Elbaf. There's more to it. I know there's more. I'm probably oversimplifying it, because I'm kind of trying to remember bits and pieces of some of the theories I've heard about it. But again, you know, we're about to watch a video from Cryptic D Athena, who talks about Elbaf. So maybe she talks about the Atom Tree. I don't know. Let's get into it though. I don't want to waste any more time. And y'all go support Cryptic D Athena. You know, go help her channel grow. You know, she's one of the supporters to this channel, one of the subscribers. So yeah, make sure y'all go support her. Anyway, let's get into this video. The link to this video will be in the description box with all the other social media links. So yeah.
Hello everyone, my name is Cryptic D Athena, and today I want to talk about the future of One Piece. More specifically about Elbaf, the next arc that the fan base is theorizing to be where the Straw Hat Crew will go next. You see, I really love Norse mythology, and it has long been since hinted at and theorized that Elbaf will be heavily inspired by Norse mythology. And that is something that is very close to my heart in recent years, I should say, with the advent of the MCU making Norse mythology more popular, along with shows like Vikings, and I think there's a couple other ones that are doing really well. And apparently,
You also got Assassin's Creed. I think it was Valhalla. It's like the last or the most recent Assassin's Creed game. If you guys are familiar with Assassin's Creed, it's the most recent one, and I think it's about Vikings. I think the main character or the assassin that you play as, I think he is a Viking. So and yeah, I think lately, I think they dropped like a DLC to it recently, or I don't know if it's dropped yet, but I think you end up fighting Odin or something. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't played it. Angel's Room said, I don't know if you know this, but Oda has said his favorite type of pirates are Vikings. I didn't know that. I didn't know he said that. That's interesting though. You know, they are you can consider them pirates though, you know. They go use the oceans and they go raiding other ships and raiding villages, and they pretty much do pirate things, right? They do a lot of pirate stuff. You know, they're just, you know, they're people don't call them pirates; they call them Vikings. So, but they are pirates though. They are pirates. Let's continue.
there's an anime I've never heard of called Vinland Saga. I guess that's where Vinland D. Ragnar gets his name, but
Well, Vinland Saga, yeah, it is great, great anime. You know, it's a great anime, great story. I would recommend anybody check out Vinland Saga. I think there's going to be season. I think season 2 drops. I want to say season 2 drops this year or within the next 2 years. I'm not too sure. I think it drops this year. I think it drops this year. Athena says to add onto that Angel, one of his favorite cartoons in the day was Vicky the Viking. I never heard of that one. Angel said Vinland Saga is greatness. I thought season 2 was 2023 or end of this year. Yeah, I think it comes out soon. It comes out within the next 2 years. I don't know the exact date though. I don't know the exact date. I just know it's, you know, either this year or next year. That's how stuff usually go. And I think they recently dropped like a trailer or a teaser, maybe just a teaser. I don't remember.
we're not here to talk about those. We're here to talk about One Piece. So sit back and relax, and I hope you enjoy.
I'm thinking the thing that like I think this video would have the game to play for this video would have been like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, or I'm trying to think of another Viking game out there that, you know what I mean. I played this game called Chivalry 2, which is about like medieval stuff. It's not really Vikings though, but you know, it's same ballpark, I guess. Same ballpark. Fun game. Fun game. Like I've been playing it for like almost a year. I think it dropped either April or May of last year, and I probably started like a month after it dropped. So, so almost a year-ish. Uh Angel Room said, "Yeah, Vicky the Viking, pretty weird name for a boy, but I've never seen it. Yeah, I haven't seen it. Let's continue."
Enjoy my speculation of Elbaf. Let's start off with something simple. In the whole 1046 chapters of One Piece, there's not a single character with an eye patch. Instead, we have many characters who have scars on one side of their face.
That's a lie. We had Kenpachi. No, I'm playing. I'm joking. Uh, have we never had a pirate with an eye patch? I mean, yeah, like I feel as though Zoro could wear eye patch with his missing eye, but he doesn't wear one. I think Rayleigh has a scar, but both his eyes are still intact. Yeah, I can't really think of any pirate with a. I feel as though there might have been like a filler character who had a eye patch though, but no like major character. So yeah, good point. I can't dispute what you said. I can't think of anything.
Or simply no use for one of their eyes, or both of their eyes. And if you know anything about Norse mythology, the chief man in charge of the Norse gods is the Allfather, Odin. Odin is, of course, famously known to have one of his eyes missing, after sacrificing it and the rest of his body to gain knowledge from the Nine Realms. Now we already have a character in One Piece named Odin, who, you could say, sacrificed himself to save 9 of his friends in place of learning knowledge. But we could still see a new pirate or leader of the Elbaf giants, at least based on the Norse version of Odin, and be called something else. I actually just recently watched Tekking's video on Elbaf, and he was calling his... I don't know where he got this from, but he was calling his idea of Odin Othun. I'm not sure where that came from, but I was kind of zoning out in the start of the video, so I might have missed something. Anyways, another Norse deity I can see take the spot for the eye patch pirate is the goddess of the dead, Hel. Hel is the ruler of, well, Hell in Norse.
Kind of like Hela from Hela from the Marvel universe, right? She's like, I think, Thor's sister. Hela. In the movie, she got free or something. I can't remember where she was, but she came back and pretty much caused all this chaos in Asgard. So they pretty much had to release who was it? I think I'm not sure if he was a demon or what he was. I think his name was Trigun or whatever, and then he unleashed Ragnarok. Pretty much, he pretty much was prophesied to be Ragnarok, right? Trigun in the one Thor movie, and yeah, that's how they defeated Hela. Angel's Room said, didn't Oda say he's saving it for someone important in the future? And then Athena says, I'll mention that, Angel. I was crushed when I found that out. I also think he also said that when they appeared, that mean we're really close to the end of the story. We were talking about eye patch person? Like when the eye patch person appears? No. It's gonna be Kenpachi. He's coming. He's coming for Zoro. Because how Zoro be Zoro be shifting through animes. Zoro went to Bleach anime and started some stuff. So now Kenpachi on his way, and he gonna be the one the eye patch pirate right there. No, I'm joking. Let's go.
Norse mythology, and she's also the daughter of Loki, which is a character we already have in One Piece. He is the Prince of Elbaf, to be precise. Hel is described as having a half white and black or blue skin, depending on the translation, and a constantly grimacing face. I think she is more famously described as having a body that is half dead and half alive. She is also noted to be an evil entity, but there's not much information on her to really say what alignment she falls on. It's likely that she's based more on the idea of death as a force of nature, which some people may see as evil. Maybe Oda would take this aspect and make a character based on her to be the villain of the Elbaf arc. But my initial idea for a character based on her would be a female pirate that has an eye patch over the left eye, in addition to her entire left side being either dead, rotted away, or one of the two colors mentioned before. I think she would also have the ability to rot or decay things around her, stemming only from her left hand.
See, but then we kind of got a devil fruit like that already. Uh, I think Shinobu. That's Shinobu's devil fruit, the rot things. And then we got the one guy who in Ennis Lobby who had a devil fruit, the rust. It was like the rust fruit. He he's the one who rusted Zoro's sword, and then Zoro had to replace it. Or no, Zoro ended up losing it, right? Or he couldn't use it no more. It was broken. It was rusted and broken. And then Zoro and Punk Hazard, or not Punk Hazard, Thriller Bark was when he fought Ryuma and got Shishui, right, to replace that rusted sword. And so I don't know how she would have like a rusted type or decaying type ability, unless she just naturally has like powers, And I think Oda usually keeps powers within Devil Fruit or maybe hockey to a degree. I was thinking like Big Mom, I guess. Big Mom could kind of play the part of Hella, or Hell, whatever you want to call her. You know, she could at least kind of play that part, right? Like she's not gonna be Hella or whatever. But you know how Oda doesn't really always use the real characters that a lot of characters are based. Like he creates new characters, right? Like kind of like the Sun God Nika is kind of based on things like the Hanuman and the what's the name? The Monkey King or the Monkey God or whatever. I can't remember his name, but yeah. Let's continue.
Or foot, while the other side rejuvenates rotted or aged things. We do have Shinobu, who has similar powers, so instead maybe this character could have ice-based powers similar to that of Brook. Hell, the place in Norse mythology, not the goddess, is often described as a cold place, so perhaps she would have similar abilities to Brook. Maybe Brook even met this character in the afterlife. But that's going into different territory, so let's keep moving on here. At the very least, I think the Prince of Elbaf, Loki, will have a daughter who may or may not be based on Hell. I figure Oda would base her on Hell, though, as he does put his best foot forward when it comes to representing different mythologies in the series. So I sure hope he doesn't miss this opportunity to put in Hell as a character, either in a major or minor role. However, there is one caveat to this hope for Elbaf.
I ain't gonna lie though, man. I ain't gonna lie, Athena. The video playing kind of got me distracted. It got me a little distracted. Like I'm sitting here seeing, I'm sitting here watching what's going on. And was it like Rapunzel, like a Barbie Rapunzel or something, or is that like a movie? I know there was like a Rapunzel movie or something. I don't know. I don't be watching movies like that, but yeah, I'm kind of like seeing what's going on. Like I'm trying to see, what they're talking about. My bad, y'all. My bad. It's just let's go.
And that's apparently Oda has already stated that he has an eye patch character ready, but he's saving it for the end of the series.
There y'all go.
Quote, in the final scenes of One Piece, there is one pirate who appears with an eye patch. I am itching to draw this character. Well, I guess if Elbaf isn't the final arc of One Piece,
it's gonna be Zoro. Y'all getting it confused. It's gonna be Zoro. He gonna put on a patch at the end of the story, and then he go, he leaves the One Piece universe after he put that patch on, and then he dyes his hair black and becomes Kenpachi. I'm telling y'all, that's the eye patch guy y'all talking about. Let's continue.
Then the fabled eye patch pirate won't be based on Odin, Hel, or Norse mythology at all. Oh well, a girl can dream. The next thing I want to talk about is another character who has their left side messed up, and that is of course red-haired Shanks. And if you've been watching One Piece videos for a while now, you have likely come across what I'm about to say. It is very possible that Shanks is based on the Norse god Tyr, who is known to be the god of war and justice. His most famous story is when he faced off against Fenrir.
Hold on, you said Shanks is based off of a character named Tyr, who's known to be the god of war and justice. That kind of makes me think, man, cause you know, out here in these One Piece YouTube streets, right? You know, we got Threevil out here, and he declaring war on Shanks out here. Like he don't rock with Shanks. He talking about Shanks as a traitor and all these things, and you know, he thinks Shanks is really a bad guy, right? Ultimately, you know, shout out to Threevil. But yeah, so yeah, supposedly he thinks Shanks is this bad guy. And you know, now you're talking about that Shanks could be based off of Tyr, who's also known as the god of war. So could he be out here starting stuff that's going to lead to wars, Shanks? If he's based off of the god of a guy who's considered the god of war, could Threevil be on to something? Could he be right? I don't know. You know, I feel as though Athena. I think you're feeding in the Threevil's speculation. Did he convert you? You let me know. Did he convert you? Athena says Shanks is very suspicious. Yeah, I think he said something about Shanks probably told on Luffy or whatever. So I don't know. Like told Dagora say about Luffy. Angel's Room said I can't find it, but in one of Oda's original concepts for One Piece, we see a character with red hair and an eye patch, but it might be fake. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen nothing like that. Hey y'all, man, I'm a little sorry today. I'm my energy a little down today. If y'all haven't noticed, I've been I've been fasting for like since Saturday, so yeah, a little challenge for myself. But yeah, so I ain't got that much energy today. I'm sorry. I ain't eat nothing since Saturday night. But let's get into it.
A colossal and terrifying wolf. Fenrir was raised by the gods in order to prevent him from causing chaos, as he was quite the large pup. However, they feared his power so much that they eventually tried to bind him with chains under the guise that they were simply testing his strength, or in the way of a children's game. Unfortunately for the gods, seemingly no chain nor restraint could hold this beast. So they enlisted the help of the dwarves to craft them a chain strong enough to contain Fenrir. And that they did, but to everyone else, this chain looked like string. Because of this, Fenrir was suspicious of this chain and asked for any of the gods to put their hand into his mouth as a sign of good faith, a sign of trust. Of course, the only god brave enough to submit his arm to a potential tearing was Tyr. And once Fenrir found out that he could not escape from his new shackles, he of course ripped off Tyr's arm. But the wolf was swiftly bound to a nearby boulder, and a sword was placed into his mouth to prevent it from moving. With his mouth agape, Fenrir would start to drool and create a river called Expectation, as he would later return in the event of Ragnarok, the Norse version of the apocalypse. Now just take all of what I said, replace Shanks with...
Hey, do y'all think we'll get like a Ragnarok type situation in Elbaf? You know, if we do indeed go to Elbaf, cause how I see it, right? Like One Piece tend to do they tend to always have some type of event, right? Some type of event where it's like everybody or like a lot of lives are at stake, and unless the main character wins the fight, like every fight you could look at, especially post time skip, has been like that, right? Like you had in Fishman Island, we had the Noah about to hit Fishman Island, and Luffy pretty much had to beat Hody Jones before stopping the Noah, even though Hody Jones was a bum. Hody Jones was a bum. I'm gonna just say that. And then we had Caesar and Punk Hazard. We had the Smile, right? Smiley or whatever. The gas. It was pretty much going all through like Punk Hazard, right? It was going all through Punk Hazard, and they had to try to escape the smoke, the smoke or the gas, and beat Caesar. Dressrosa, we had the Birdcage with Doflamingo. Whole Cake Island was like, hey, we gotta escape Big Mom before she kills us, and we gotta wait while we wait for Luffy to beat Katakuri. So it's pretty much we had to escape the whole Big Mom crew with only half our crew, while Luffy beats Katakuri, but Luffy has to win, like beat Katakuri in time for them to be able to escape, right? Right now in Wano, we got the whole Onigashima about to fall on the Flower Capital. So not only are the people on Onigashima at risk, but the people in the Flower Capital are also at risk. So, it's a pattern, right? It's a pattern in all these arcs. So my thing is, in Elbaf, when we get to Elbaf, I think the time constraint motivation thing, event, whatever you want to call it, is going to be Ragnarok. I think it might be, or that's what they call it, right? Like, but we know that the thing with Ragnarok, it's known to destroy Asgard. Like, it's a prophecy. It's going to happen, so could that mean that the Ragnarok of Elbaf actually destroy Elbaf? Probably not. I don't necessarily think that going to be the situation. Angel's Room said, I don't know how, but I found the art and it seems to be official. All right. Well, I'll check the Discord. I think I noticed that you posted some, but yeah, I'll check it out later. We got Hassan Smith with the strong arm. Shout out to Hassan. Welcome to the chat as well, Hassan. Angel's Room said, I sent it to the Discord. Funny how they on a Viking ship sent. And then Cryptic D Athena said, Elbaf will be Ragnarok, but Oda flavored. Of course. It's what is the Elbaf going to be though? Or what is the Ragnarok going to be? Like, what is Ragnarok in mythology, in Norse mythology? Like, what does it actually do, right? Because supposedly, I guess it's supposed to destroy Asgard or whatever. But what is it like? Is it some powerful being, kind of like in Marvel when they said that Ragnarok was going to be Trigun destroying Asgard? Is it like just like Asgard imploding or something? Like, what is Ragnarok? What does the Ragnarok consist of? Because, and the reason why I ask, because I'm curious if if Oda is going to use, if he uses Ragnarok, if it's going to be similar to Norse mythology Ragnarok, or is it going to be something specific, like just Oda's version of Ragnarok? I'm curious. Angel's Room said endless fighting. That's what Ragnarok is, just an endless fight. Cause I don't know. That's why I'm asking. But let's continue with the video.
With Tyr and the Sea King that took off his arm, with Fenrir, and we got ourselves a parallel, right? Shanks, of course, stopped the Marine for Ward as well, and has ties to the Gorosei, which could be stand-ins for the other gods in the story I told. it does seem likely that the Gorosei would use another person to get out of potentially dangerous situations, especially ones that they think they can't control. But who really knows? It's a very simple parallel, but until we get to Elbaf, I'm not sure there's too much else we can speculate on in regards to Shanks and his connection to Tyr.
Let me check what Angel's Room said. In Scandinavian mythology, Ragnarok is a series of events and catastrophes that will ultimately lead to the end of the world. Ragnarok culminates in the final battle between the gods and the demons and giants, ending in the death of the gods. But who are the gods in this specific situation? Q said, I think he'll add weather climate theme in the Elbaf. So you think like maybe Ragnarok is going to consist of some big old weather phenomenon? Because I forgot who it was. I think it was Desnes. He kind of talked about a great cleansing in the One Piece world, maybe like a flood, So could this cleansing be Ragnarok, right? Could Elbaf could Ragnarok that is brought on in Elbaf be more than just a danger to Elbaf and be more of a global catastrophe? Kind of like that cleansing, like that, not me and Desnes, but Desnes kind of talked about, which kind of would lead to the Noah possibly being used. I don't know. But yeah, good add on, Cube. Angel Room said that's what popped up in my Google search. Hey, good old Google, man. I'm not mad at it. Athena says Ragnarok is like a reset for the world. It's not caused by one thing. It's like several things are set up and then all collide into a disastrous point. And that's exactly what I mean, right? That's kind of what I mean, right? Like, just think of everything going on in the world of One Piece right now, right? We got the whole SSG. We don't know what they do, but they could cause some trouble, right? Then we got the whole warlord system. We don't know where that's going to bring the world. We got everything that happened to Reverie, and we don't fully know what the aftermath of all the decisions made in Reverie is going to entail. Not only the decisions they made in Reverie, but everything that possibly happened with Sabo, and somebody possibly dying, and somebody possibly being attempted murdered, right? Then we got the possible fall of Kaido happening in Wano, right? By the end of Wano, Kaido could be defeated, and that could have some global ramifications, Also, Big Mom, if she gets defeated in Elbaf, another Yonko, that could have some ramifications as well. And also, we also know that Luffy is prophesized to destroy Fishman Island, right? Could that be part of this Ragnarok? You know what I mean? That could potentially happen. It's just so many things. The world government's moving. Blackbeard's moving. Shanks could be moving. Everything going on in Wano. Everything that happened to Reverie and is kind of going on behind the scenes of what we're seeing. When it comes to the 7 warlords. And what about Doflamingo? He could come back into the story. Like, supposedly there's assassins after him, but who's to say that he's going to die? He could be released. Like somebody could break into Impel Down and release Doflamingo. Now that I think about it, right? We know Blackbeard is after something. He said He's on the move and he's gonna go claim a prize, right? That I guess the world government don't want. What is that prize? Could it be? Could he be going back to Impel Down to get Doflamingo possibly? Because just think of all the knowledge that Doflamingo knows. That could be very useful to somebody like Blackbeard. You know, because we know Doflamingo knows the secret behind the world, like the world government's treasure or whatever. We know that. So could Blackbeard be trying to get his hand get hold of Doflamingo? And they're the type I feel as though they're also the type that would work together, right? Because Doflamingo seems like he loves chaos and all that stuff, and Blackbeard also seems like his goal is to bring about chaos. So him and Doflamingo could be like a match made in heaven in some cases. Plus the knowledge that Doflamingo has. So my thing is maybe this Ragnarok that could potentially happen in Elbaf, or that can at least start in Elbaf. You know, it could have some global ramifications. You know, and a lot of what you guys are talking about these, because y'all keep saying is, because like Athena says, Ragnarok is like the reset of the world. It's not caused by one thing. It's like several things are set up and then all collide into a disastrous point. That could be in Elbaf, right? Everything that's been happening post time skip. You know, same Angel's Room said the same thing. He said it's a series of events and catastrophes that will ultimately lead to the end of the world. Just think of all the series of events and the catastrophes that we've been having since the time skip. You know, and even before then. Cube said, because my Nami research brought me to Elbaf as well with Norse mythology. Makes sense that they'll a weather component to it. Hey man, we could see something with Uranus, right? You know, me and you, Cube, we talked about Uranus heavy a lot, right? About what Uranus could potentially be. It could be a weather, something having to do with weather, right? Maybe that's when we see Uranus is in Elbaf. Maybe Uranus is going to be related to Ragnarok, you know. Angel's Room said, but it's interesting how the Ragnarok that popped up in my search can be connected to One Piece. Demons equal pirates. Gods equal celestial dragons. And giants are the giants. I mean, Luffy's also a god as well. In his own way. You know, he's not considered a god though, like the celestial dragons are. Athena says, I think we're all on to something. Hey, you sparked this, you planted the seed. You planted the seed on this one. Let's continue though.
There are a couple of other things I want to mention.
I ain't gonna lie, guys. It may not be a long stream today. I really don't have a lot of energy. I really don't have a lot of energy. I've been pretty much. I've been fasting since Saturday, so it's like I'm like out of energy right now. But let's continue though.
Firstly, you may have heard another story about Tyr, where in Ragnarok he is killed by the hands, or in this case the claws, of Garmr, who is another frightening wolf like Fenrir. In some translations, Garmr is thought to be related to Cerberus, who we all know is the three-headed hellhound in Greek mythology.
Three-headed hell. There has been theories and speculation that Blackbeard could, old theories, a lot of old theories about Blackbeard being Cerberus, right? The three-headed hellhound, where Blackbeard has a three-headed Jolly Roger, Who knows? Let's continue.
Which, of course, was the original idea for Blackbeard's Devil Fruit.
Yep.
Or at least the most famous idea before the Kraken Fruit. While that is interesting, it should be noted that Garmer is more likely just another wolf-like creature and not actually three-headed.
Hey, we actually had a Cerberus in One Piece back in Thriller Bark. That it was that zombie, the Cerberus zombie, which I mean, it wasn't like a real Cerberus, but I think it was like three heads, attached to one body, because they had what's his name, Doctor. I can't remember what the doctor's name is, the one who patches all them zombies up for Gecko Modia. I'm curious if he was part of Mads as well. Like, I'm curious. Do y'all think that doctor from that worked for Gecko Modia, do y'all think he might have been part of Mads? Like the science group that Vegapunk, Judge, I don't I think Caesar might have been part of them. I'm not too sure if Caesar was with him. But yeah, it was Vegapunk, Judge, I think Caesar. And I feel as though there was somebody else that I'm missing. But yeah, Hogback. Cube says Hogback. He said I think he's got links to Mad, but not a member. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I don't think he was ever mentioned, so you know. But it would make sense though. I mean, the man had some, he was making them zombies. Let's continue.
Secondly, Captain Kidd lost his left arm in a bout against the red-haired pirates. This is likely some sort of symbolic writing by Oda, but when I initially was looking into Norse ties with One Piece, I drew parallels with Kidd in Tier First, not Shanks. And I came up with a minor theory that perhaps the egg on Shanks' ship hatched and gave birth to a wolf-like creature that took Kidd's arm.
Shanks had a egg on his ship too. I mean, I know Goldie Roger had the egg. I don't remember Shanks having an egg on his, like, on the Red Force, which is Shanks' ship name. I learned that yesterday on my trivia. I learned that yesterday on my on that trivia thing I did. But yeah, Roger had an egg. I think he said, was it Roger? It was Roger. He had the egg on the ship. Because I think they even have an action figure of the ship or a replica of the ship that you would get with the egg. But it was definitely Roger back in the days, because a lot of people speculated that the egg had Shirahoshi in it. Cube says, in the way he worked in transferring the will into a dead body through shadows. Yeah. But wasn't that Gecko's doing as far as transferring the wills? And Hogback kind of just put the bodies together. That's what I kind of looked at. Angel's Room said, I had an egg on my ship. You silly, man. Let's continue.
I know. It's a weird one, but I was just coming up with some interesting ideas. Some more speculation about this interaction that Kidd had with Shanks is that Killer, Kidd's right-hand man, also had something going on with his right arm when we see him in Wano. Now in the manga, I saw this as some sort of degradation or rot, but in the anime and some color pages of the manga, his arm seems to be scarred in some way. This is likely due to something that happened with the red-haired pirates as well, but we can't be too sure. Notice that I mentioned rot before, which, yes, I was going to make a correlation there with hell. Maybe Shanks has someone on his crew with a hell fruit, or something similar to Shinobu's fruit. But it's impossible to know, up until the eventual explanation. It seems just...
Yeah, I never caught that whole killer's arm. I never caught that. That's interesting. You think it could just... I mean, it could be like some battle damage, right? Like that. There could be battle damage. Unless it's always been like that. Like I never paid attention, so I can't really, I don't want to like argue. I'm not, trying to debate against it, but like, cause I never noticed it, but it could be some, I'm thinking like battle damage, possibly. Q said, I think he needed Hogback to prepare the body. No, does does seem to show that he did have some kind of knowledge about it. Not sure, it's been a while. He needed Hogback to put the bodies back together. That's it though. Yeah, I think that's all it was. Like Hogback was good at kind of, and he could also, not only that, he could almost repair the bodies of these zombies to make them usable, and I think he also adds stuff to him, right? Like kind of like in order for him to be able to create a Cerberus, right? To have a 3-headed hellhound, or to have like, I don't know, I guess certain advantages for certain bodies, upgrades, I guess. Athena says Killer's arm is probably just battle damage, but it's weird that his arm looks the way it does with what we know about Kid versus Shanks. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I never noticed it before. So, it's one of them things I have to, I gotta kind of look out for it. See if it's something that's common with him. Like, is his arm always like that? Or, was it just like that in that specific picture? I don't know. It's one thing we have to find out. Let's go.
It's just like another mystery in the One Piece world for now. Finally, I want to close out the video by talking about Fenrir again. As a reminder, he's a giant wolf that was fooled into being trapped by the gods, but managed to take Tyr's arm in retaliation. Well, some additional information for you is that there are other wolf-like characters in Norse mythology that Fenrir is thought to take the place of. This includes Garmr, who is said to break free from his chains during Ragnarok, which would make sense for Fenrir, of course. Skoll, a wolf that devours the soul, or the sun, and his brother Hati, a wolf that devours the Mani, or the moon. All three of these being descriptors of Fenrir, but with different names, actually makes sense. As it's said, once Fenrir breaks free of his chains at the start of Ragnarok, he will then run across the earth, his lower jaw touching the ground, while his upper jaw touches the sky. And he will devour everything in his path, which we can assume that includes the sun and the moon, thus creating darkness. But once he's completed his journey, he will face off against Odin and kill him, but later die to his son, Vidar. Obviously, the key takeaway here is that Fenrir will devour the sun and the moon, with the correlation being that Luffy, who plays the sun, will be devoured by a giant wolf and fall to darkness.
Who plays the moon? Or would Eam be the moon? Right? And Blackbeard might be the darkness that devours the sun and the moon? Or is Blackbeard the moon? And Eam is the darkness. See, I would think Blackbeard would be the darkness because this devil fruit is literally the darkness fruit, right? But yeah, and Eam, but the thing about it is, because I got kind of my own theories. Because we learned that Luffy is, he has the sun god Nika devil fruit, or the Nika devil fruit. It's, it's just literally the Hito no Mi version Nika. And Nika was the sun god at one point, a living being, supposedly, according to Who's Who. He was a being who used to free slaves, and Who's Who would even pray to him at one point, because he turned into despair at one point, being a slave. So I'm thinking, like, we learn that Luffy is the sun god, right? Quote unquote, the sun god. So with Blackbeard, because I feel as though Blackbeard, I look at Blackbeard as the anti-Luffy, or the Luffy opposite, the opposite of Luffy, right? But when you look at his devil fruit, right, the devil fruit, his first devil fruit that we seen, the first devil fruit we see him actually get, and that he wanted to get, it was the Yami Yami no Mi, and it looks so much like the Gumu Gumu no Mi, or the Hito Hito no Mi version, Nika. So what if the Yami Yami is like the Hito Hito no Mi version moon god? I don't know who the moon god is, but just saying, whoever it is, version him, right? So he would be both darkness and the moon, I guess. uh Angel's Room said, yeah, Killer's left arm got me disturbed now that I've noticed it. Cube says most likely Blackbeard is the moon and Eem is the darkness. Eem removes light from history, so makes sense that in this instance, Blackbeard is the moon while Eem is the darkness. I thought you said I'm the darkness, as in you. The one who puts the world in darkness with his ruling. I agree. He might have the moon god MC. I actually kind of disagree with you, Cube. I actually think Blackbeard is the darkness because I guess it goes back to an old conversation I've had, right, or an old theory that I caught where I forgot who it was. I can't remember who exactly it was who said it. It might have been either Best Generation or Threeville. It was like one of them. And they said that there are cycles, right? There's the sun cycle, the moon cycle. And I guess how we related it was that the sun cycle, one example of the sun cycle was when Joy Boy was the king. He ruled the ancient kingdom, right? He was the sun. He was a good ruler. It was probably, the kingdom was probably prosperous and everything. And then the ancient kingdom eventually lost, so the sun went down and the moon came up, which was the system that we currently have. The world government ran by Eem. So Eem would be the moon cycle. And right now we're in the moon cycle, and Luffy is going to bring the sun. He's going to be the sun cycle, I guess. Ending the moon cycle. And in that case, I would kind of look at Luffy being the sun and Eem being the moon, and Blackbeard being kind of that X factor. He is the darkness. But I do get what you're saying, Cube, if you think about it, because Blackbeard is the opposite of Luffy, so it would make sense that if Luffy's the sun, Blackbeard will be the moon. Also, my theory about the whole moon god and Blackbeard and everything. But and that's why it's so hard, because you could see Blackbeard being either the moon or darkness, and same with Eem, right? Cube said, I agree, he might have the moon god MZ, zone, I guess. Angel said, the real question is, who is Vengeance? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Dragon. Maybe Dragon or something. I don't know. And I'm just kind of throwing names. I just kind of look at Dragon being the one to get revenge, and starting the revolutionaries for that reason. Cube said, oh, I thought of something. What if Eem has the moon god devil fruit? I mean, it's one of those things I thought about before as well. Anyway, let's continue.
And I think that perhaps that giant wolf will be Blackbeard.
Oh, you know what I thought, Athena, I thought what you did was, I thought this was like part of like a Barbie movie or something. And then you had clips of, what's it called? Kingdom Hearts, that game. I thought, but I didn't know that all of it had to do with the game. Yeah, I didn't even realize that until, they all met. Let's continue.
Just hear me out. Firstly, Elbaf is likely going to be based on Norse myth. And what better myth to make the basis of an arc than the most famous myth, Ragnarok? Okay, that doesn't mean anything. But how about the other wolf creatures I mentioned before, such as Garmer? I did point out that he is sometimes thought to be a Cerberus-like being, in that he's a three-headed wolf. And obviously, the long-running theory for Blackbeard up until recently has been that he has a Cerberus devil fruit. Maybe the Cerberus theory was in the right direction, but led to the wrong place. As in, people were correct about the multi-headed dog, but wrong about the mythology it came from. Lastly, the One Piece community is starting to think that Blackbeard will be a moon god, as the opposite of Luffy, the sun god.
Mm-hmm.
So, Blackbeard will get a devil fruit, or he already has a devil fruit that will be later revealed to be related to the moon god.
That's what I
And while
think.
Fenrir himself isn't a god, the gods in Norse mythology feared him. What better fruit to give the rival to Luffy? A fruit that the sun god Nika once feared. And hey,
It's kind of playing into what you said, Cube, about Blackbeard being the moon and Luffy being the sun. You know,
maybe the scenario of Fenrir defeating Odin and swallowing the sun connect. The sun god Nika, in place of Odin, once faced off against the moon god Fenrir, and it ended up being swallowed by the darkness. And once the light of the sun god faded, that is when the Void Century began. A century void and darkness. Or maybe this beast threatens both the sun and the moon. Alright, everyone, I want to thank you all for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed. I have some other ideas for this Elbaf speculation, but they weren't really anything too crazy, and one of them kind of flopped. But the first idea was that maybe Luffy's kind of a Thor-like figure with him grabbing lightning and all that, but it wasn't really. It's just like a little small thing. I was kind of comparing Kaido to Jormungandr, which is the world serpent in Norse mythology. And
mm-hmm.
obviously, Kaido has a serpentine dragon body, but that's obviously due to cultural differences. But
Hey, you talk about that world serpent, right? There was a if you go back to Skypiea, there was that snake that they called the sun god as well. I think they called it. I think it depends translations, but I think one translation called him the sun god or something. And it was a snake that they would sacrifice. I guess in the flashback in Skypiea, when they was on Jaya, and Mont Blanc showed up, and I want to say Kagra. I think that's his name. Kagra pretty much was sacrificing his daughter, I think, to the sun god, which was that snake, which could be related to like the world snake. It was a super big snake, right? Super big snake. And then I think Mont Blake Nolan, he showed up and ended up killing that snake. But the snake had a child, right? The snake had a child that we eventually seen in Skypiea, and it was pretty big as well. So maybe that snake could have something to do with your theory. Let me see what you guys are talking about. Angel's Room says some of you may uh disagree. I guess that's what you really meant to say. Disagree with me, but I think there are no or not actual gods in One Piece. I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying I disagree with you or agree with you. I don't know. You know, because Sun God Nika seems like that was just a person who was kind of like elevated to a god status, right? And maybe again, he had abilities, we know of that, but he might have again like going through all those Elid's videos when he talks about hockey and how it could potentially create abilities. He could have been probably the first person to have been able to use hockey to such a high level that he was able to create these abilities, right? Maybe, you know, maybe Nika, or maybe he was just the best hockey user to where he could create them. Like, I don't know. Maybe he was the first hockey user. I don't know. But maybe he wasn't necessarily a god, you know, and it was already kind of established that he kind of existed. So, you know, to exist like any other human, you not, you know, you're a normal human. So I don't know. I don't I'm not saying I disagree with you because I don't know if there's any actual gods. Every being we seen considered a god. I mean, well, we seen Enel. He called him. People looked at him as a god. He wasn't really a god though. I mean, he was able to be beaten like any other human, anybody else in the story, any other character he was able to be beaten. And then you got Nika, I already just talked about. Celestial dragons call themselves gods, so the word God gets tossed around in One Piece so much. It's like it's kind of bastardized to a degree. So like, yeah, I kind of agree with you. I don't know if there's any actual real deity. So I mean, like, again, I don't disagree with you, but I don't agree with it either. You know, could there be possibly, but I don't know. Cube says so. I won't. He says I think the concept of God and OP is more specific, so I won't disagree or agree. Snake equals devil equals sun god was a good move from Oda. I think in one translation they called the snake the wisdom god or something. I don't remember. Or maybe that was that might have been a different point, a different situation. Angel says superhuman being or spirit worship as having power over nature or human fortunes, a deity. This one of death of God, so I guess there are gods in One Piece. But we haven't seen anyone with this death in One Piece. Definitely in One Piece, the creator and ruler of the universe and source of all moral authority, the supreme being, which is Oda. Oda is the god of One Piece. He's the only real deity in One Piece. Oda. Let's continue.
It still was a neat idea in my head at first. And then my other idea was connecting the races in One Piece to the 9 realms of Norse mythology, which most have a race tied to in that. In
Bro, I know her hair dirty as hell, man. Her hair just be dragging. Like, she don't like wrap it up. Like you gotta wrap it up or something. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe she needs to have like a some type of thing that just holds her hair while she walks, and she could kind of like roll it up, right? Like something that rolls her hair, and it's just like here, and then she drags it, and it just follows her. I don't know, but I know her hair dirty. Her hair dirty as hell. Probably got bugs and ants and mosquitoes and all types, or I meant termites and worms and stuff. It's nasty. Let's continue.
the stories. But as I was going through, I noticed that I missed a race, which was the Kineko Bito, which I didn't know existed, first of all. But it kind of made the whole thing fall flat. In addition, some of the realms in Norse mythology don't exactly fit with races, but it's neither here nor there. I just went ahead and stuck to the 3 big topics that I feel like will be covered in Elbaf or in One Piece at some point. And with that, I want to thank you all again for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow my Twitter to see all my artwork for the videos that I make, and for updates on when I'm going to be releasing my next video. So, I'll see you all around. Have a good day.
She picked up her hair and ran. Man, that is a horrible. That feel like that gotta be a horrible thing to have hair that long. What if it just gets snagged in something, right? What if somebody put like a portion of it in like a wood chipper or something? Like you'd be screwed. Or what if you try to go up an escalator and they get caught? You are screwed. But yeah, so he didn't really talk much about Athena really didn't talk much about like the Atom Tree, which is one of a common and popular speculation that goes on around. Uh, focused a lot on like Norse mythology and how it may relate to certain characters, which was cool. Maybe Athena would like expand on it, you know. Maybe talk about some of the other things like Usopp, right? Usopp, because Usopp kind of has a plot point to talk about. Big Mom as well, you know, has those ties and connections to Elbaf as well, and possibly the Atom Tree. Now that part is mostly speculation. Like we don't know for certain if Atom Tree is in Elbaf. So it's a lot of stuff that kind of point to that, but we don't know for certain. You know, we know that we know about the link between Big Mom and Elbaf. We also know Usopp, you know, kind of wants to go to Elbaf as well, so he has some story. You know, Q believes that Nami has some connection with Elbaf as well, but you know that's one thing we'll have to wait and see. I think I think I heard somebody speculate Shanks as well. Um, I don't know. But I think Usopp more for sure to it. Or I think Usopp, yeah, I think he's a candidate of having some connection with Elbaf. I think the Atom Tree might be connected with Elbaf as well. I think it might be in Elbaf. And Big Mom. We know Big Mom has history there. Now, whether her story is continued in Elbaf or not, we don't know for certain, but it would make sense for it to be. You know, it would make sense for that to happen. I don't know. But anyway, Angel's Room said great stream. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Anyway, y'all, it's pretty much a stream though, you know. I don't really have much energy today, guys. I'm sorry. You know, I try to though, but I don't. I'm working. I'm operating on fumes right now. I'm operating off fumes. So yeah, so tomorrow, let me see. Cube said no worries. Yeah, tomorrow I should be linking with uh Elids. By that time, yeah, I should be fed. Next stream I shall be fed, so I should have the energy, you know. I should have that energy, right? We're going to continue the revisiting understanding hockey collection that we have been doing. So yeah, you know that is the plan for tomorrow. I'm gonna have to make sure I'm gonna have to confirm it though, ensure that nothing comes up with him, and then yeah, we should be in business. So y'all make sure if y'all want to hear me and Eliz talk, y'all definitely make sure y'all check the stream out for tomorrow. And yeah, Eliz or Cube, I said Eliz. Cube said yesterday was a great and huge session. Eliz. And nice. Yeah, it was a great stream yesterday. I really enjoyed that stream. I had fun. I feel like you guys had fun. I know I wasn't really that interactive with chat. It's just I had a lot of people. I had like 6, 7 people I had to do a trivia with, and then after that we had a discussion. So it was like, if I would have really gave the chat my what I wanted to give you guys, that stream could have lasted 7 hours, 8 hours. So, Anyway, y'all, make sure y'all hit that like button. Subscribe to your boy. Hit that bell for notifications so you know when I go live. Also, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you're looking for a One Piece community to be a part of, we have the Discord, and we also have the Facebook group. They will all be in the description box below, as well as the video we reacted to. Shout out to Cryptic Athena. Y'all go to her channel, show her some love. Go subscribe. Like her video as well. Make sure y'all like the video. Shout out to Cryptic Athena. Athena says, see y'all tomorrow. Yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Yeah, definitely. See you guys tomorrow. It was a great stream today, despite my lacking of energy. Cube said, it's your boy Sean. ... See you tomorrow. But yeah, anyway, y'all, like Cube said, it's your boy Sean P, the Bluff guy. And I am out of here. Y'all have a good rest of your night. Tomorrow I'll have the energy though. I'm gonna be fed after I break my fast. Anyway, y'all have a good rest of your day. I'm out of here. Peace.